This is the WWE NXT July 16, 2024 full show results video, and the show opens with the Rascalz reunited walking backstage and talking about how they're gonna give it to Gallus. The show started with a match between Gallus versus the Rascalz, and Hendry joined the commentary table, and the result of this match was Rascalz defeated Gallus by pinfall with a double stomp-assisted double-team backbreaker rack facebuster on Mark Coffey, and Hendry showing appreciation to Rascalz. All Ego, Ethan Page is bringing some valid complaints to Ava Raine after 1 week of the era of Ego. Oro Mensah rolls up, and everyone's shouting. Page tells Mensah he's never getting a title match or pinning him. Ava says he's not in the title scene because he keeps attacking Ethan, and she tells All Ego he's going to defend his title tonight, and Page picks Dante Chen, a man of honor, as his challenger, and Ava gives him the nod. Roxanne Perez makes her entrance and gets on the mic, and she asks what it's going to take before she gets treated like the champion she is. Last week she beat the biggest badass in NXT and retained her title, but is she getting her flowers? No, Lola Vice, who lost the match, gets a standing ovation, and it should have been her. She talks about how Charlotte Flair had her first NXT TV match 13 years ago, but she's on pace to shatter all of her records, and everyone else's, too. But what really pisses her off is the internet talking about Giulia and Stephanie Vaquer, and they can roll out the red carpet, but when they get in the ring with her she'll show them what's what. Which makes it laughable that Thea Hale is her next challenger. Thea Hale comes, and she says she doesn't know what Roxanne's problem is, but nobody owes her respect or anything else, but give her the pen and she'll write herself in that history book as the youngest NXT Women's Champion. Perez says she's not underestimating her, she just knows that as long as she's holding the title it won't be her time or anyone else's, and Hale just isn't ready. She's no grown-ass woman, she's just a little girl, and a brawl breaks out. They roll around and try to grab their respective submissions, and soon enough Thea has the double wristlock and Ridge Holland has to pull her off of the champion. Kalani Jordan is interviewed backstage and says that, as champion, she's going to keep upping her game, and Wendy Chu appears to be weird and spooks her. Then Lola Vice is interviewed backstage and she talks about her failed title challenge and how it took Roxanne Perez 5 pop rocks to take her out. Jacy Jayne, Fallon Henley, and Jasmine Nix roll up to do the Mean Girls routine and tell Lola to go back to MMA, but she just challenges Jacy to a match later. The next match happened between Brooks Jensen versus J. Yvonne Evans, and the result of this match was J. Yvonne Evans won the match by pinfall with a double jump ace crusher. Then we saw that Trick Williams was on a video call with Ilya Dragunov talking about his feelings about having lost the title. Dragunov talks about how he's getting his bearings on the main roster and asks Trick what he wants, and Williams says he wants his damn rematch, and then turns to see Pete Dunne and he asks Pete for advice, but Dunne tells him bluntly to figure it out and storms off. The next match happened between Dante Chen versus Ethan Page for the NXT Championship, and the result of this match was Ethan Page defeated Dante Chen by pinfall with Ego's edge to retain the title. Post-match, Oro Mensah attacks, but All Ego cuts him off and leaves him laying, but Oro gets up and cuts him off on the ramp and brings him back into the ring for lariats and a rolling kaput kick before hitting the spinning wheel kick in the corner and counting a pin. Then Gallus are grumbling about all the attention going to the shiny new toys when Hendry appears because they called his name. He says he's here in NXT to stay, and they say nobody likes him and people think about them and Drew McIntyre when they think about Scotland. The next match happened between Izzy Dame versus Tatum Paxley, and the result of this match was Tatum Paxley won the match by pinfall with a kind of back-to-back lightning spiral called Psycho Trap. Post-match, Chu and Paxley have a moment where Tatum returns the severed head of her doll to its body and Wendy leaves it with her. The next match happened between Jacy Jayne versus Lola Vice, and the result of this match was Lola Vice defeated Jacy Jayne by pinfall with a backfist. Post-match, Fallon Henley and Jasmine Nix jump Vice, she fends them off, but when Jacy recovers enough to join in the tide turns, but Sol Ruka and Carmen Petrovich make the save and the babyfaces stand tall. Tatum Paxley is being weird with dolls backstage and Kalani Jordan rolls up. Tatum asks if she wants to play, Jordan says they're too old to play with dolls and walks away as Paxley drops the doll she had and picks up a doll that resembles Kalani. Then we saw a mixed tag team match between OTM versus the Club, and the result of this match was the Club won the match by pinfall with Magic Killer from Good Brothers on Bronco Nima. Backstage, Charlie Dempsey is chatting with Tavian Heights and Miles Bourne when Ren Sinclair rolls up demanding to be part of No Quarter Catch crew or she'll tattle on them, murdering Damon Kemp. Dempsey isn't having it. She tries to shoot in on Bourne and Charlie gets mad about it and she pledges she's going to keep at it until she's in. In the main event of the show, we saw a match between Duke Hudson vs Oba Femi for the NXT North American Championship, and the result of this match was Oba Femi won the match by pinfall with the pop-up release powerbomb, retaining the NXT North American Championship. Josh Briggs leaves the building with Brooks Jensen and Jensen challenges him to a match next week. Josh says the last time he beat Brooks up real bad and he doesn't want to put him through that again, but Jensen doubles down and makes it a no disqualification match and the show goes off the air.